تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Translation. He created man from clay like that pottery, and he created the jinn from a smokeless flame of fire. So which of the favor of your Lord would you deny? He is the Lord of two sunrises, and he is the Lord of two sunsets. So which of the favor of your Lord would you deny? He released the two seas meeting side by side. Between them is a barrier, so neither of them transgresses. So which of the favor of your Lord would you deny? From both of them emerge pearl and coral. So which of the favor of your Lord would you deny? And to him belong the ships, so sails illuminated in the sea like mountain. So which of the favor of your Lord would you deny? صدق الله العظيم.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, please rise for the national anthem of Islamic Republic. Vice Chancellor, University of Sindh, Professor Dr. Rafiq Mehman, Executive Director, CISSS, and scholars, dignitaries, distinguished guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning. I, Dr. Saba Sarai, Associate Director Research at Center for International Studies, Sindh, feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here at the first round conference of Center for International Strategic Studies, Sindh, and University of Sindh on strategic and economic dimensions of Pakistan-China relations amid deepening global geopolitical divide. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an open house activity that is being reported in media. This conference is being live streamed on our social media websites, including YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. Dear participants, the first joint conference organized by CISSS and University of Sindh is indeed a milestone and will pave the way for further interaction in the future. Moving on, I will now invite Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Sindh, Professor Dr. Hamadullah Kakepoto for his welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Hamadullah Kakepoto possesses over 26 years of teaching and administrative experience at university level. He is serving as Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Sindh, Jamshoro since May 2022. Prior to this position, he has served twice as the chairman, Department of Sociology, University of Sindh. He has also worked as Director, Area Study Center for Far East and Southeast Asia, University of Sindh from 2013 to 2018. Moreover, he has served at Greenwich University, Karachi as a founding dean of social sciences from 2006 to 2007. He has also contributed his services in District Karachi as associate dean from 2007 to 2008. Besides, the Dean's Faculty of Social Sciences has international teaching exposure. He has worked as a visiting professor in Zhejiang Normal University, Genoa, China, and the University of Malaysia, Paris. Also, he has served as a visiting scholar in Brigham Young University, USA. Apart from teaching and administration, he takes a keen interest in research and has contributed in various national and international conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Dr. Hamadullah Kakepoto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Ambassador Qazi M. Khalilullah Sahab, Honorable even Hassan Iqbal Sahab will be online after 1 hour, inshallah. But in schedule, we have also kept his presentation. So, Honorable, we are Honorable Minister of the Planning and Development, Hassan Iqbal Sahab, Honorable Minister Ismail Rao Sahab, Mushahid Hussain Sayyid Sahab, because he will also join 2:30. Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Sindh, Dr. Siddiq Alwar Sahab, all the faculty members, all the students, and also all the persons from media. I am thankful to all of you because you have also visited University of Sindh Jamshoro, and we have also, even we have some other conferences in the past. But to me, it is a good conference because we are discussing issues of strategic economic relations. Because before that, I also did my conference in 2017 on CPA. Hassan Iqbal was also there. But we only, at that time, the situation was different as compared to now we have. So we are lucky that Ambassador Qazi Khalilullah Sahab cooperated us in this conference, and his role also is a key role because without his active participation, active support, it was not possible. I personally, I welcome Sir Khalilullah Sahab, Qazi Khalilullah Sahab, to visit us in first time, second time in University of Jamshoro, and we, I also discuss some points that although we have signed different agreements with different organizations to organize such type of the conference in the future. So Sai Kali Sahab was kind enough that he has also consented that in collaboration with the University of Sai Kali Sahab conference, organize this conference. And I also welcome Dr. Rafiq Ahmad Memon Sahab because today early morning, Vice Chancellor got a call from Karachi, and there was an urgent meeting in Karachi. So he nominated Dr. Rafiq Ahmad Memon Sahab, Pro Vice Chancellor, Tata campus. So on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, he said Rafiq Memon Sahab will present his presentation and then also conference. So let me to talk about the Pakistan-China relations, because when we say that in 50 Pakistan was the first country who recognized China, and even we continue supporting each other since last 73 years, China and Pakistan. but due to, as you know, the strategic and economic relations between China and Pakistan, we have also some other stake players especially in South Asia, where India, Pakistan, we also work together. So maybe because in 2016, 17, when I organized conference on CPEC, situation was a little bit different because at that time that the Hassan Iqbal Shah Plan minister, he was working very hard, and Chinese were also working very hard. Then again, third party, some what I personally believe, the role of USA even supporting India to control China or maybe some others and other players that we have also, just like we listen about the Russia-Pakistan cooperation, even so the area was some little bit large, so we have some different concepts at different times. Even the China we consider the best friend because since last 73 years, China is blindly supporting Pakistan on different ways. Even we have different religion, we have different culture, but even the Chinese and the Indian rivalry is not a secret because some border issues are there. Then again, the turmoil in Afghanistan and even the pull out the forces of US forces from Afghanistan, and even the some border clashes between Pakistan and India, even India, China. So the situation, the city situation is a little bit different than what we have now. And so this conference, I hope, Sankari Sahib is also uh, will talk about these things. But this conference is unique in different sense because we are strategically we are discussing issues. We are not only saying that the CPEC is what we say that CPEC is the only thing, but we are also strategically we are some different position. Even the when we say political turmoil or maybe some other issues, Indian issues, or even the China's issues, again the Russian geopolitical importance. Pakistan is important at the base place. We have also covered, we have also the different resources, physical resources, natural resources, and that's why even we are the first country where we have also Pakistan has a nuclear power. So maybe some issues like this to combat nuclear proliferation or maybe some others. So this area will be some different players and stakeholders. They are also seeing this area in different eyes because the USA, we say that not say, but the USA also supporter of India. Maybe because of self national interest to combat China. And again, as a Pakistan as a nation is also we are in turmoil situation, economic situation. We should speak that due to whatever the factors are there, but we are economic indicators and social indicators. Pakistan are not good. So when we are not good at social indicators or economic indicators, then again we need to rely on China because China is the old partner, and we have the self interest. But the Chinese are supporting on through CPEC because CPEC was the first project in Pakistan which we see since last 7 years, 8 years, that it will some make breakthrough, economic breakthrough, or maybe the social development in Pakistan through different physical infrastructure. Because we have also energy crisis in Pakistan, so China is also a good experience in technology. So we can through with the help of China, we can the energy crisis control the crisis. Again, the no need to say that we have also some threats from the our border side, from Indian side, because the India, whatever we say, but India is directly or indirectly is controlling one side. India wishes to control the Pakistani. So border issues are also there. Even the nowadays in Afghanistan, border issues are there. after the US pull out, even though we have combated terrorism in Pakistan, because it was 7 years ago or 9 years ago, there was daily cases of bomb blasts in Pakistan. But we have somehow we have controlled terrorism. But again, we have, because we have to see the borders, especially the borders with Afghanistan. So no need to say that Pakistan is also important player in South Asia, because no one can sideline the Pakistan. Yeah, but no one can come without the support of Pakistan and play any important role in South Asia. Maybe either it was in Russia, USA, or in the Chinese, because they need our support. At least it is clear that we are geostrategically we are at important positions. So to all the stake players of the region need Pakistani support. And also we have also, just like the we have climate issues, even we have also environmental issues, social development, low social development indicators. So we need at this stage a breakthrough that maybe, so we are mostly, I think we should welcome China, that he at least it is supporting Pakistani in different ways. So in the end, I am also once again I am thankful to all of the students, our guests are coming from the far flung areas. Even because last time also last night the Asrikpal was very much interested to come here. But as the turmoil is in political turmoil in maybe in capital city or Lahore, so some meetings are there, reschedules are there. So last time, around the 11:30, he said that I'm very much busy, and please accept my excuse, because we were he's our keynote speaker, and he has also said that he will join us online, inshallah, 12:25. So I also say thanks to Hassan Iqbal. Even he couldn't come in physically in conference, and I am also thankful because the uh, Pakistani ambassador in China he is also online. So I also will welcome him to join us online, because he all these people have the rich experience, because students or faculty or others ultimately they can avail the full benefit of their speeches, because throughout their lives when they have different experiences to share. So I am very much thankful to all of the participants, all of the invited speakers, Chinese ambassador, even the Hassan Iqbal Saab, even Sayyid Mushahid Hussain will join 12:30. Even Minister of the University and because he was also just told that he is trying to come back, but there's urgency meeting because situation we can understand the political situation. So I am thankful to all of you, especially Sai Kali Saab, because without his participation it was almost impossible. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great privilege to announce that His Excellency Ambassador Moinul Pakistan's ambassador to China, has also joined us online. We welcome you, sir. Moving on, I would now request Executive Director CISSS for presenting the conference concept note. Ambassador Kazi holds master's degree in international public policy from School of Advanced International Studies, Johns Hopkins University, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, Ambassador Kazi joined Foreign Services of Pakistan in 1985 and served in the Foreign Office headquarters in Islamabad as Section Officer, Director, Director General, and Additional Secretary, respectively. Ambassador Kazi was the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from 2015 to February 2016. He held various diplomatic assignments in Pakistan missions abroad, including Russia, Ukraine, Turkmenistan, Switzerland, Myanmar, and Cuba. You have the floor, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Sindh, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Sindh, Professor Dr. Hamadullah Kakepoto, Pakistan's Ambassador to China, Ambassador Moinul Haq, dear speakers, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of great pleasure and honor for the Center of International Strategic Studies Sindh to jointly organize today's conference with the University of Sindh, the oldest university of the country. Although I belong to the province of Sindh, this is the first opportunity for me to speak at this prestigious university. Before I present the concept note of the conference, let me express my profound gratitude to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University and his dedicated and able team, in particular Professor Dr. Hamdullah Kakepodo and his colleagues, for their fullest cooperation in organizing this conference on the strategic and economic dimensions of Pakistan-China relations amid deepening global geopolitical divide. Let me also convey our deep appreciation for the remarkable scholarly work being done by the Area Studies Center for Far East and South Asia of University of Sindh, particularly on Pakistan-China relations. As we all know, Pakistan and China established diplomatic relations in 1951. Pakistan was one of the first countries to recognize China and the first diplomatic relations with China. Over the last 71 years, the two countries have developed a relationship that is time tested and is often described by the peoples and the leadership of the two countries as higher than mountains, deeper than oceans, and sweeter than honey. In 2015, during the visit of President Xi Jinping to Pakistan, both sides agreed that Pakistan-China relationship had acquired greater strategic significance against the backdrop of complex and changing international regional situations. Accordingly, the two sides agreed to elevate Pakistan-China relationship to all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. During his visit to China in November 2022, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to further strengthen and deepen strategic partnership with China and enhance practical cooperation in all areas. According to him, Pakistan China friendship is deep rooted and eternal. This friendship is rooted in the hearts of people of the two countries. We will implement China Pakistan economic corridor with Pakistan speed and take it forward to new heights. According to President Xi Jinping, friendship between China and Pakistan is based on trust and mutual support. Both countries have been devoted friends through good and bad times. Our friendship is pace setter for amicable relations between countries. We should therefore strengthen mutual assistance and deepen strategic cooperation, advance our shared interests and achieve common development, enhance close exchanges to build lasting friendship, and we should stick together in the face of difficulty and jointly meet security challenges. Relationship with China is the cornerstone of Pakistan's foreign policy. Pakistan and China support each other on core issues of national interest. Pakistan is committed to One China policy and supports China on issues of Taiwan, South China Sea, Hong Kong, Xinjiang, and Tibet. China supports Pakistan's sovereignty, territorial integrity, securities, socio-economic development, and prosperity. The Chinese side considers Kashmir issue as a dispute left from history that should be properly and peacefully resolved based on UN Charter, relevant UN Security Council resolutions, and bilateral arrangements. Pakistan is committed to high quality development of the Belt and Road Initiative. The significance of the China Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is a flagship project under BRI for Pakistan's economic and social development, is difficult to describe in words. Both sides recognize Gwadar Port as the leading project of CPEC and an important node in cross regional connectivity. Both sides wish to accelerate cooperation in areas of agriculture, mining, IT, and socio-economic development under CPEC and launched health, industry, digital, and green corridors earlier this year. The two sides attach great importance to people and cultural exchanges between the two countries and are endeavoring to build Pakistan China relations as a model of friendly exchanges and cooperation among countries of different civilizations. The two sides believe that cooperation between China and Pakistan is conducive to maintaining peace and stability and promoting common development and prosperity in the region. Both sides condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations and are opposed to politicization of the issue of counter-terrorism. Pakistan and China enjoy close cooperation in the field of defense and peaceful uses of nuclear and space technologies. Both sides closely cooperate in the frameworks of the United Nations and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Pakistan China friendship has acquired added significance in the wake of the following developments. Number one, revocation of illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir's special status, comma, splitting it into Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir and incorporating them as union territories by India on 5 August 2019. Number two, big power contestation that we are witnessing nowadays. Transition from a unipolar to a multipolar world that is visible nowadays. Number four, Quad. Number five, introduction of destabilizing weapon systems and technologies by India in South Asia. And lastly, assignment of the role of net security provider to India as part of the US Indo-Pacific, so-called Indo-Pacific strategy. I'm sure that the speakers at this conference would further expand on the strategic and economic dimensions of Pakistan-China relations amid deepening global geopolitical divide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your valuable thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I now hand over the further proceedings of the conference to Executive Director, Center for International Strategic Studies, Sindh, Ambassador Retired Qazi M. Khalilullah. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sabah, and allow me to conduct the proceedings from here. Our first speaker is Ambassador Moinul Haq, who has already joined us. Ambassador, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir. I hope I am audible there.
Yes, you are very much. Well, Ambassador Moinul Haq was born in 1963. He joined Foreign Service of Pakistan in 1987. At the headquarters of Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Islamabad, He has worked in various capacities and at different posts, including as Assistant Director, Deputy Director, Director Foreign Secretary's Office, Director General Europe, Chief of Protocol, and Additional Secretary Administration. In Pakistan missions in various countries, he has served from time to time. These include Belgium, Sri Lanka, Canada, where he was our Consul General in Vancouver, and Turkey. He was, as I mentioned, Chief of Protocol. He served as in that capacity from 2013 to 2015, and Additional Secretary
Recording in
Administration.
progress.
Additional Secretary Administration in 2016. From 2016 to July 2020, he was Ambassador of Pakistan to France, also accredited to the Principality of Monaco, and permanent delegate to UNESCO. From August 2020, he is Ambassador of Pakistan to China and also accredited to Mongolia. Ambassador, thank you for joining us, and you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable ministers, distinguished Pro Vice Chancellor of the Sindh University, Ambassador Kazi, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and Ni Hao from Beijing. I would like to first of all thank the Center for International Studies, Sindh, for jointly and relations. And I'm very happy to be here and share my thoughts. And I would like to thank my senior colleague, Ambassador Kazi, for giving me this opportunity. Distinguished longevity, resilience, and trust best describe Pakistan-China friendship. There is no relationship like ours which so deeply touches the soul of our peoples and evokes such strong emotions. Expressions, imaginative diction are used to capture the essence of this fabulous friendship. As you know, many in Pakistan may not know that in China, Pakistan is known by a term called Bathiye. Bathiye means iron brother. So wherever you go in China, in a small town, in a village, when you tell them that you are from Pakistan, they will say Bathiye. And this is very unique that this term is only for Pakistani people. And of course, in Pakistan, China is known as our best friend. There's a famous Chinese saying which says that as distance tests stamina of a horse, so time reveals the sincerity of a friend. Seen from this perspective, of course, the seed of the bilateral relationship, which was sown 71 years ago, has now today blossomed into an evergreen tree with deep roots and strong branches. Dear friends, the spectrum of China-Pakistan relationship is very deep and wide. We have close cooperation in diverse areas, ranging from political, economic, defense, security, to culture, education, and tourism, and environment. In the next few minutes, if you allow me, I would like to present some key elements of our broad and diverse relation with China. Firstly, of course, the political dimension. In the joint statement which was issued during the recent visit of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif to China, to Beijing, we underscore that relation with China is the cornerstone of our Pakistan foreign policy, and expect also highlighted by Ambassador Ghazi in his remarks also. And similarly, the Chinese side also reiterated it our way the successive generation of the political leadership in our countries have nurtured this relationship over the years and transforming into an all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. Actually, this was done, this elevation, this transformation come during the visit of President Xi Jinping to Pakistan in 2015, when I happened to be the chief of protocol and the honor to organize this trip. This relationship enjoys also support across political divide in both countries. In Pakistan, our political parties may not agree on many things, but there is a complete consensus on our friendship with China. Second important dimension is of defense and security. Since many years, China has been our major defense partner, a key source of essential weapon systems. This defense cooperation, of course, not only is related to acquisition of important defense trade, similar views important regional and international security issues. Jointly use JF-17 Thunder aircraft, which is a prime example of our defense cooperation. And now, after the initial phase of production in China, in Pakistan, in Kamra, we are alhamdulillah producing the next generation of this very important aircraft, which remains a very important part of our efforts. Another important key defense collaboration is with Navy, between our two navies. Because frigate, we are building recently 2 frigates were launched from Shanghai, brand new frigates, and also we are building new submarines for Pakistan Navy. It is at this time, I think, important to note also, and they have seen that this defense collaboration to target the country. Other region, new measure. In of course, we are disconnected.
Recording in progress.
Am I audible here?
There are some connectivity problems. We are trying to resolve it. You may go ahead, Ambassador. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Just, am I audible there now?
Yes, very much.
Recording in
Okay, sir,
progress.
thank you so much. I think there are some connection issues. So I will start from cut off. I was talking about the economic dimension of our relationship, which in the recent years there has been a lot of focus from the both sides. Pakistan, as I mentioned, is China is Pakistan's largest trading partner, and last year, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, our bilateral trade reached a record level of US dollar 27 plus billion dollars. And interestingly, our exports to China also reached highest level. There is, of course, a worrisome aspect that there is a widening trade deficit, which is quite large. And during the recent visit of the Prime Minister, we took a number of decisions to address this aspect. Further liberalization of trade under FTA, allowing more Pakistani agro and dairy products into China, and conducting a joint study for enhancing economic and trade cooperation. And another important aspect, I think, in which our two leaders agreed was more investments from China into Pakistan, especially to set up export-oriented industry. I think we need to seriously look into this, because our capacity to export to outside world, and especially the large market in our neighborhood like China, needs to be upgraded. So this is an important aspect on which government is also taking very keen interest, and our partnership with China becomes very important. Another thing I would like to mention is about that China is the world's largest e-commerce market. Last year, the volume of e-commerce trade in China was $2 trillion. $2 trillion is more than the combined e-commerce trade of US and Europe. So there is a huge potential for Pakistani traders to tap into this e-commerce market, for which we have established e-commerce platforms, pavilions on Chinese e-commerce platforms, and helping our traders to connect to this and improve our trades. China has all major source of foreign direct investment, $60 billion. CPEC has transformed Pakistan's economic landscape, helped upgrade our physical communication and transport infrastructure, and address our acute energy shortages. Of course, there was a talk about upgrading of Gwadar port also, which remains very important for development and our regional connectivity and integration. I would be later talking much in detail about CPEC, but I would like to mention one thing, that in Pakistan, we should realize the importance of CPEC. And the region also. During Prime Minister visit, there was a lengthy discussion on CPEC, a strong commitment for the Chinese leadership as well to maintain the momentum of CPEC. Chief Minister of Sindh, Murad Saab, was part of the delegation, and one important project, KCR, Karachi Circular Railway, was extensively discussed, and Chinese side have agreed to invest in this project, and we hope to see some. Moving forward, of course, CPEC would be focusing on industrialization, agriculture modernization, and IT. And for this, we have launched 4 new corridors: China-Pakistan industrial corridor, digital corridor, green corridor, and health corridor. One other important aspect which I would like to share here is that President Xi Jinping last year announced another initiative which is called Global Development Initiative, which is more or less aligned with the UN SDGs. Pakistan this year became the first partner country of GDI, and we signed an agreement during the Prime Minister visit, which means that there will be more investments into areas of health, education, and environment and climate change. So this is a very important aspect that for BRI, Pakistan had a flagship project of CPEC, and for GDI, Pakistan has become the first priority partner country of China. Fourth, I would like to just flag here a very important aspect of Pakistan-China cooperation, which is financial and banking cooperation. As you would many know, that's currently Pakistan is going through a difficult economic situation, financial crunch on our foreign exchange reserve, but China remains a very key partner in supporting and providing essential support for our budgetary support and financial support. Fifth aspect, of course, the people of Karachi and the people of Sindh knows is our civil nuclear cooperation. It is a very important, critical aspect of our strategic cooperation. The four Chashma projects, C1, C2, C3, 4 in Chashma, and now K2 and K3 coming online. We have a total capacity of over 3,000 megawatt of clean nuclear energy for our country, and the aim is to double this capacity in the short to medium term in the next year. Next is our education cooperation. Quickly, I would like to mention that China is now the largest destination for Pakistani students. There are over 25,000 students in various disciplines in various universities in Pakistan. We have now a CPAC consortium of universities in which over 140 universities are now participating, a very important platform of academic exchanges. And I don't know whether University of Sindh is part of that consortium, but we would be very happy to connect University of Sindh with Chinese counterparts in the coming days as part of this consortium as well. We have Pakistan Chair in Peking University, and we have a number of Pakistan study centers, and as well as CPAC research centers in many Chinese universities. Culture and tourism has a very important part in our bilateral agenda. And since I have come here 2 years ago, we have made an extra emphasis on this cooperation and people-to-people exchanges. We carry this cooperation under the framework of our cultural exchange program, which dates back to 60s, but recently this year was extended to next 5 years. In 2021, we celebrated over 70 years of diplomatic ties, and more than 140 events were organized in 1 year by the two countries. Majority of those events were related to cultural events like Women Forum, Literary Forum, film festivals, fashion shows, and of course, translation of Iqbal and Faiz, famous poetry into Chinese. Tourism has also became an important part of our discussions in Chinese language, which we have launched. And next year,
Recording in progress.
Hello.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
May I continue?
Yes.
Ji sir, I was just mentioning lastly that very important element of China-Pakistan relationship. It's crucial support on our core issues. But China has been very steadfast Pakistan when it comes to our own core issue, be it Kashmir, especially in due to Chinese are out of the grey list. And now China is, of course, supporting Pakistan on important issues of disarmament at NSG and at Geneva. Pakistan also extends very critical support to Chinese interests, especially Human Rights Council in Geneva. Distress and national disasters is also a hallmark of Pakistan-China ties during COVID-19 pandemic. As you all know, that it was due to Chinese vaccines. More than 160 million doses were provided by China, which were the mainstay of our inoculation drive. And now recently, during the floods, Pakistan, China was on the top of the list. They have provided close to 1 billion RMB assistance package for Pakistan and also for reconstruction. And they have announced that they will be providing maybe more to Pakistan's rehabilitation and reconstruction efforts. So truly, I would like to conclude here saying that this is the relationship which is a historic reality and a conscious choice of our two governments and people. And it needs to be strengthened and preserved for our future generations. So I am very confident that these go relation. I think the role of universities, research institutions, and think tanks, academia also look forward to this university and the CISSS to provide guidance to us and further strengthen this very important and critical relationship with them. And I thank you all for giving me this important opportunity to share my thoughts. And full good wishes for complete success of this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Moinul Haq, for being with us. It was good to know from you that there's great respect for Pakistan and its people in China, that both countries are committed to CPEC, and that Karachi's circular railway project is receiving attention in Beijing as part of CPEC. We have question answer session at 15:30 Pakistan Standard Time. So if you have time, we would appreciate if you could join us. We will be very happy to direct all questions to you. Let me, in conclusion, convey appreciation of this conference for the contribution that Ambassador Moinul Haq has made to further enhancing Pakistan-China relations, and we thank you for that. Let's have a big hand for him once again. Ambassador, I have a suggestion here from one of the panelists, but I think he has left us. Are you still there, Ambassador? There's a suggestion that if you have time for a few questions, we'll be very happy to have them right now.
Yes, I'll be happy to take a couple of questions. Yes.
Please. Maybe you can come here because you can hear you from there.
My name is Dr. Farooq Lagari. The mic on. My name is Dr. Farooq Lagari. I am an assistant professor at Department of International Relations, University of Sindh. Basically, I have PhD in strategic and security studies, and most of work is on the nuclear deterrence in South Asia between India and Pakistan. Recently, I visited US as an associate scholar for 6 weeks. We have more than 75 lectures. So two points I want to ask. So one thing is that basically I saw American professors, they were having the perception that there is a greater chance of India-Pakistan war, especially in 2003, at the end of 2003 and in 2004, as BJP has always tried to use these tactics to win the elections, especially in India. And they were especially of the perception that that war will be on Azad Kashmir. In past, what we have seen, that China in 1965 actively supported us, especially, and conveyed a threat to Indians not to go ahead with an invasion of East Pakistan, especially. But in 1971, I saw that Chinese were reluctant to support us on the military lines. And especially with S-400 missiles on the Chinese side and conventional military modernization, how do you think what is going to be Chinese stance, especially in supporting to us in any sort of war with, especially India? So how do you see Pakistan's sovereignty? Second point is about the sovereignty. So I saw one of the lists previously in the newspapers where Chinese influence was noted on 82 countries and Pakistan was at the top. And different sectors there was the influence of Chinese. How do you see that? How are we losing our sovereignty to Chinese? Thank you, sir.
What Dr. Farooq Saab wants to see that Chinese position if there is a war between Pakistan and India. And of course, he narrated some of the historical developments between Pakistan and India in different wars in the past as well. Look, we have a very close discussion and dialogue with China on a number of regional issues and also relating to India. China also has a troubled past with India, as you already mentioned about the 1960s war between the two countries. And recently also in 2000, as you know, there was another serious border clash between the two countries. And of course, this has been an issue between the two countries, this border clashes. Recently, a week ago, there was a clash, and I was just reading a report that China has moved its forces towards the Indian border, and there is a hue and cry in India as well that another war is imminent. China is mindful of its very, I would say, troubled neighborhood spec being used by the Western countries to counter China, to encircle China. US has also put a very strong squeeze around China with its Indo-Pacific strategy. Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, these all are being used against China's rise here. So China remains very sensitive to its relationship in the neighborhood and its relationship with India as well. While it has a troubled past, while it understands that India is being used by the West, at the same time, China wants to remain or to keep a balanced relationship with India also, considering its influence, regional and global influence. They have made a very conscious decision to mend their ties with India, despite their border clashes. Their view is, China views is that we can have border problems, we can have territorial disputes, we remain a part of a bilateral agenda. Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
So they say that they should remain a part of the bilateral agenda and it should not mar the overall bilateral relationship. India, on the other hand, looks at their border issues as a very critical part of their bilateral agenda, as have not moved to mend bilateral relationship. So it is when we talk to the Chinese, this is the message that we get from them about their own relationship with India, and it's a message to Pakistan as well that you have problem with India also, a very serious problem in Kashmir, on which the Chinese supports us in principle. But at the same time, they have the message that you need to mend your ties with it. When it comes to sovereignty of Pakistan, when it comes to defense of Pakistan, which country has helped us more than China? As I mentioned earlier about our defense needs, our critical defense needs, in terms of our strategic assets also, I don't want to go into detail. They have been supported from China in a large extent. Today, our defense, whether it's armed forces, air force, or navy, it is all supported from China, a very critical support, which of course is to balance the conventional balance and as well as strategic balance in the region. We continue to provide that political and critical defense support to Pakistan to ward off the challenge that we have in our region. Okay.
Next question. Anyone? Please.
I'm Dr. Ali Khan Gumro. I have done PhD from Malaysia. So, particularly my interest is in security studies. So, I'm asking for two things from Ambassador Muin. First, Pakistan signed an agreement with Turkey to build frigates, and a similar agreement was signed with China, as you mentioned in your speech, that China and Pakistan are building frigates and submarines. Actually, what Pakistan is looking today, not the security assurances or weapons from its friendly countries. Pakistan needs to have self-reliance in security area. So, as per my observation, Pakistan's agreement with Turkey is based on Pakistan will build one frigate in Turkey, and one frigate will be built in Karachi shipyard. And Pakistani engineers will be observing their work, and they will be getting technical expertise. Is there similar agreement with China that China is building frigates and submarines, and Pakistani engineers will be allowed to observe the whole process and will repeat the same process in Karachi shipyard by building same frigates and submarines in Karachi that can enable Pakistan to be self-reliant in the security area? That is my question. Either the agreement with China is similar the agreement with Turkey. Thank you.
Sir, Kazi, can you Kindly, because the voice was not very clear. What is the exact question? What agreement with China? The gentleman is asking. I can't hear it.
Yes, sir. As you mentioned in your speech that Pakistan has signed recently an agreement with China to build frigates as well as submarines. Pakistan already have another agreement with Turkey where one frigate was built in Turkey. Pakistani engineers participated there. They not only allowed them to go through the whole process, but they gave them technical expertise to build a similar frigate in Karachi shipyard. The agreement, my question is whether the agreement with China has the same typical possibilities that Pakistani engineers will be allowed to experience the whole process, acquire technical expertise, and repeat the same process in Karachi shipyard by building its own frigates and submarines in Karachi shipyard. Yes, because Pakistan is not looking for assurances, security assurances, or Pakistan is not looking for the weapons from US or China. Pakistan today is looking for self-reliance and self-assurances, not weapons from friends. That's my point. Please.
Yes, thank you so much. Now I understand. And you're right, of course, Pakistan always looking for self-reliance and technology transfers when it comes to defense collaboration with any country. And China has been a very close partner in that respect. The frigates building that I mentioned to you, of course, there is a large team of Pakistan naval officials, engineers, and workers who are working on this project in Shanghai. And that means their capacity is being built, and they are going to take when they take these ships back to Pakistan, the entire Pakistan crew take it back. They get their training, and then these important machines would be maintained in Pakistan, for which we are building a brand new maintenance facility also. Like I mentioned to you about JF-17 Thunder aircraft. Of course, first aircraft, the first batch was built in China, but the next batches and the next generation of aircraft were all being built in Pakistan by Pakistan Air Force, their engineers and their workers. So we have built, this is part of the agreement between the two countries, that we not only collaborate on joint production, but training, expertise, transfer of technologies also. And China is one of the most reliable friends in this respect.
We have time for one more question, as Minister Hassan Iqbal will be joining us at 12:30 online, of course. Ambassador Moin, there is a question that we have received online, and it is as follows. The US sees BRI as a threat to its national interest. So how do you think it would impact CPEC?
Yes, Ambassador Kazi, we are aware of the detractors of BRI and CPEC as well. We know that US, Western countries, and including India, have raised objection about CPEC. But despite the fact, this cooperation between our two countries has moved forward with speed and with efficiency. And you have seen that China-Pakistan economic corridor projects have helped transform Pakistan socio-economic development. Yes, there has been attacks on CPEC projects. Recently, we've seen terrorist incidents in Balochistan. Dasu attack was a very terrible attack, a very unfortunate incident. So there are detractors and adversaries of China-Pakistan friendship and CPEC which are there. We are mindful. Our two countries are mindful of that. In fact, Pakistan has raised 2 army divisions, especially to protect CPEC projects, which is unprecedented. and besides that, there are a large number of LEAs who are protecting not only the Chinese projects but personal institutions in Pakistan. It's an ongoing battle. We know the challenges that we face, our two countries, but we are doing it together. And we hope that this project, which is essential for our two countries, for the region, will continue with speed in future as well.
There's one more question. This is the last question before the minister. This is the last question before the minister joins us, and this is from Center for International Strategic Studies, AJK, whose executive director is sitting next to me. How will geopolitical competition between US and China impact cooperation on non-traditional security threats in the Indian Ocean?
Yes, we are, of course, entire world is worried about this ongoing rivalry, or what you say, the competition between the two major powers, and its implications can be seen not only in the Indo-Pacific region, but in our part of the world also, in the Indian Ocean. Recently, of course, there were hue and cry from India also about one of the Chinese vessels which was operating in the Indian Ocean. And recently, China also hosted a conference on maritime in the Indian Ocean. And again, there was the criticism coming from various capitals about this. So this is part of course, ongoing geopolitical realignments which are taking place in our region. And it will have an impact on non-traditional security threats also. But as far as China is concerned and our cooperation is concerned in this naval domain or in the Indian Ocean, it remains very strong. We have very made it clear that we will not be, Pakistan has made it clear that we will not be part of any this power blocks or major level power rivalries also. We will, our cooperation with China is for the peace and stability in the region and for on maintaining our own interest in the Indian Ocean and beyond. So we remain cognizant of these challenges, and it remains a very important part of our bilateral discussions with China.
I'm advised to ask one more question. Is there anyone from the floor? Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Ghaffar. I am pursuing Masters in International Relations. My question is particularly with our foreign policy. We are facing multiple issues, but the critique of our foreign policy believe that we have certain amount of heroism in our foreign policy. We have foreign policy, the policy of abrupt reactions. So how do you see that the criticism on our foreign policy?
Can
So there is an element of heroism in our foreign policy. जो हमारे foreign policy के critics हैं, उनका ये मानना है कि जो हमारी foreign policy है वो foreign policy होती है, जो हम abrupt जो reactions देते हैं, दुनिया के जो भी मसाइल होते हैं. How do you see that as an ambassador? Do you agree that statement?
क्या हमारी जो फॉरेन पॉलिसी है वो रिएक्शनरी है, आप ये कहना चाह रहे हैं?
जी सर, बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली.
मेरे ख्याल में ये गलत तासर है, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी माशाल्लाह अगर आप पाकिस्तान की तारीख भी उठा के देखें तो पाकिस्तान मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फॉरेन अफेयर्स जो एक बहुत ही प्राइम नेशनल सिक्योरिटी इंस्टीट्यूशन है have always upheld the interests of the country always. तो इस फॉरेन पॉलिसी सिर्फ फॉरेन ऑफिस नहीं बनाता, फॉरेन पॉलिसी के बहुत डायमेंशंस हैं, वेरी डिफरेंट डायमेंशंस। आजकल के दौर में तो इकोनॉमिक है, डिफेंस है, इंफॉर्मेशन है, कल्चर है, दीज आर ऑल पार्ट ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी के जो रिलेशनशिप होता है। तो हम सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ मिल के मुशावरत के साथ फॉरेन पॉलिसी बनाई जाती है और उसकी जो इनपुट्स फॉरेन ऑफिस रिसीव करता है फिर लीडरशिप को देता है एंड द डिसीजन इज टेकन बाय द पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप ऑफ द कंट्री। सो ऑफ कोर्स द चैलेंजेस पाकिस्तान को फेस करने पड़ते हैं एक्सटर्नल और इंटरनल, they have all bearing on your foreign policy. So it is not created in a vacuum. It has its various dimensions. तो ये बिल्कुल आंसर गलत है कि ये रिएक्शनरी होती है या नी जर्क रिएक्शंस होते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स दुनिया में बहुत सारी चैलेंजेस आते रहती हैं जिसके ऊपर आपको क्विक डिसीजंस लेने होते हैं, बट दिस इज अ थॉटफुल प्रोसेस, इंस्टीट्यूशनल प्रोसेस होता है जिसके तरीके से ये फॉरेन पॉलिसी को Ambassador Kazibi, of course, is my senior colleague, and he would, of course, can comment on this aspect as well. And I hope that he will agree with me that this is an institutional process for policy making, और इसका बड़ा एक background होता है और बड़े एक तरीके से चलती है ये लेके
Sir. Yes, I fully agree with you, Ambassador Moinul Haq. हमें ये चीज़ समझने की ज़रूरत है कि फॉरेन पॉलिसी जो है, जैसे एम्बेसडर मोइन हक ने कहा कि सिर्फ फॉरेन ऑफिस नहीं बनाता, ये एक इंटर मिनिस्ट्रियल प्रोसेस होता है और रिकमेंडेशंस भेजी जाती हैं हाईएस्ट लेवल पे, और हाईएस्ट लेवल पे भी फिर एक प्रोसेस है जिसके अंदर तमाम स्टेक होल्डर्स जो हैं वो पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं और उसके बाद वो डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं जो मुल्क के बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट में हों, जो पाकिस्तान की अवाम के इंटरेस्ट में हों। अब इस चीज़ को भी समझने की ज़रूरत है कि पाकिस्तान के बियॉन्ड जो इन्वायरमेंट है, चाहे वो सिक्योरिटी हो, चाहे वो दूसरे मुल्कों की पॉलिसीज़ हों, वो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है। जैसे ही कोई इवेंट होता है, चूँकि हम एक मेजर प्लेयर हैं, हम एक रीजनल पावर हैं, हम एक न्यूक्लियर वेपन स्टेट हैं, हमारी एक हैसियत है रीजन में और दुनिया में, तो हमें जैसे जैसे सिचुएशंस डेवलप होती हैं हमें रिएक्ट करना पड़ता है, जिसको आप जो है रिएक्शनरी पॉलिसी कह रहे हैं, वो रिएक्शनरी पॉलिसी नहीं है। एक इवेंट अगर कहीं होता है दुनिया के अंदर, तो तमाम ममालिक जो हैं वो अपने अपने इंटरेस्ट के मुताबिक रिएक्ट करते हैं और पाकिस्तान भी इसी तरह करता है। हम चुप नहीं रह सकते, लेकिन हमारी पॉलिसी जो है वो लॉन्ग टर्म पॉलिसी है। हम जैसे चाइना की मिसाल है, मतलब दुनिया में बहुत सारी चेंजेस हुई, अप्स एंड डाउन आए, बहुत सारे मुल्कों ने उस पॉलिसी को इन्फ्लुएंस करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन हमारी रिलेशनशिप जो है टाइम टेस्टेड है, इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं कि ये टाइम टेस्टेड रिलेशनशिप है, ये कभी चेंज नहीं हुई। इसी तरह हमारे जो अरब ममालिक, मुस्लिम ममालिक के साथ ताल्लुकात हैं, हमने हमेशा कोशिश की कि हम उनको बेहतर तरीके से जो है आगे बढ़ा सकें, और ये हमारी पॉलिसी का एक अहम हिस्सा है। इसी तरह बिग पावर्स के साथ हम अच्छे ताल्लुकात रखना चाहते हैं, और इवन दो कि आजकल बहुत इंटेंस कंपटीशन है बिग पावर्स के दरमियान, लेकिन हम सबके साथ मिलकर चलना चाहते हैं, हम ब्रिज बनना चाहते हैं, हम किसी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का हिस्सा नहीं बनना चाहते। हम जो है पाकिस्तान एक पीसफुल कंट्री है, यही हमारा एजेंडा है। आप अफगानिस्तान की मिसाल ले लीजिए, 20 साल तक फॉरेन फोर्सेस वहाँ पे रही, लेकिन हमने हमेशा ये कहा कि मिलिट्री सोल्यूशन नहीं है, पीसफुल नेगोशिएटेड सोल्यूशन होना चाहिए, और एंड में यही हुआ। तो पाकिस्तान की पॉलिसी एक सक्सेसफुल फॉरेन पॉलिसी है और हमें इसमें एतमाद होना चाहिए। Ambassador Moinul Haq, just give me one. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका for being with us. It was an extremely interesting talk from your side and very informative Q&A session. We have learned a lot from you and through the questions.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much for being with us. We have a shield of our think tank as well as souvenirs from Sindh University, but we can't pass them on online. So we will find an opportunity to send them over to you. Thank you very much, Ambassador Moinul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, Now I have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Ansar Pervez. Dr. Ansar Pervez is a former chairman of the Pakistan Atomic Energy Commission, or PAEC. In his various capacities in PAEC, he has contributed to the development of human resources and application of nuclear technology in the areas of medicine and agriculture. He has played a pivotal role in the development of nuclear power in the country. Dr. Ansar Pervez has master's degree in physics and nuclear technology. He earned his PhD in nuclear engineering and science from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, USA. He was on the faculty of Purdue University, USA for 2 years. He was also elected as the chairman of the IAEA Board of Governors. Currently, he is serving as advisor nuclear power to the National Command Authority and chairman Board of Governors, National Center for Physics. He also organizes a short duration leadership course. He has been awarded Hilal Imtiaz by the Pakistan government for his services to the country. He will speak about Pakistan-China cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear technology and energy. So you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Khalisa. It's really a pleasure and nice thing to be here in the university. Thank you very much, sir. It's really nice and a pleasure to be in a university where you have a mix of some very senior people and also you have some students sitting in the class. In my career, I have had many opportunities of talking to different audience, but coming to a university and talking to people who are very young and very energetic, and you can see brightness in their eyes, is altogether different experience. I will try to cover this. A lot of things have already been said about the Pakistan-China cooperation, collaboration, friendship, and mutual assistance while focus only on the nuclear technology and will try to see this kind of friendship through the lenses of nuclear energy as a matter of fact. And this is the topic of my talk today. And already Ambassador in his speech here, in his talk here, said that cooperation in civil nuclear is one of the most important things that is taking place between China and Pakistan. And I'll try to walk you through what has happened in the nuclear energy sector of Pakistan and how China's assistance and China's cooperation has helped Pakistan to build nuclear power plants and appear on the map of nuclear world as a country which can maintain, run, and operate nuclear energy and nuclear power plants. So our first slide change करेगा ना कोई? Correct. Next. So our first slide here is what I already said. Actually, whenever we talk of nuclear technology, and I don't mind taking just 2 minutes to say that when we talk of nuclear technology actually comprises three things. Number one is nuclear radiations, the radiations which come out of the nuclei. These radiations, as you might have seen in the nuclear medical centers and elsewhere talked about, these have very strong penetrating power, more penetrating than the X-ray. And they also have this capability to change the DNA of a cell if they strike it, which means we can use these radiations for seeing into things which we otherwise cannot, and we can also use them for destroying the tumors or anything else that we want to destroy. But this also means that it can also affect healthy cells. And for that, there are certain precautionary measures that we have to take, but that is another entirely different subject. And another part of nuclear technology is nuclear fusion, which is taking place at the sun. We know that all the time. In all the stars, the nuclear fusion that is generating energy. On Earth, it has only been possible to demonstrate this thing in the laboratory. Only recently might have read कि लॉरेंस लिवरमूर में उन्होंने एक कर लिया कि हाँ ठीक है हम फ्यूजन से एनर्जी जनरेट कर सकते हैं but we are a long way away from using fusion energy in the commercial sector कि हम commercial sector पे fusion power plant लगाएं और उससे बिजली बनाएं we are many years away from that अभी तक सिर्फ उसको हमने लेबोरेटरी में प्रूफ ऑफ प्रिंसिपल को डेमोन्स्ट्रेट किया द रियल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी दैट वी टॉक अबाउट कम्स फ्रॉम न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन और जो अगली स्लाइड में आप देखेंगे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड नहीं नेक्स्ट स्लाइड ये वाली तो न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन प्लीज अच्छा न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन सॉरी न्यूक्लियर फिशन में ये होता है कि एक यूरेनियम का एटम है वो स्प्लिट हो जाता है व्हेन दिस एटम स्प्लिट्स तो दो न्यूट्रॉन द ओनली थिंग दैट आई वांट टू यू टू लुक इन दिस स्क्रीन इज कि जब वो एटम स्प्लिट होता है ना यूरेनियम 235 का उसमें से दो न्यूट्रॉन निकल रहे हैं और उसके साथ एनर्जी जनरेट होती है इफ आई कैन यूज वन ऑफ दीज न्यूट्रॉन्स टू कॉज अनदर फिशन तो मुझे एक लगातार सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी जो है वो मिल जाएगा फिशन होती रहेगी और मुझे उससे एनर्जी मिलती रहेगी दिस इज द बेसिक प्रिंसिपल ऑन विच अ न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट इज बिल्ट बाकी सारी चीजें जो हैं वो उसकी इंजीनियरिंग डिटेल हैं जैसे आप अगली स्लाइड में आप देखें कि ये एक पावर प्लांट है इस पावर प्लांट में अंदर एक तरफ से जो लाल वाला इलाका है यहाँ पे पॉइंटर तो मेरे पास नहीं है पॉइंटर वो जा भी नहीं सकता यहाँ तक नेवर माइंड तो ये जो लाल वाला इलाका है लेफ्ट हैंड साइड के ऊपर यहाँ पे पानी गर्म हो रहा है पानी आगे जाता है फिर बॉयलर में जाता है उसके बाद जनरेटर में जाता है और बिजली बन जाती है वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस इनटू दिस डिटेल लेकिन द ओनली डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट एंड ए कन्वेंशनल पावर प्लांट इज कि यहाँ पे जो हमने दिखाया है ये बिजली की जो हीट निकल रही है जो एनर्जी जनरेट हो रही है वो न्यूक्लियर फिशन से जनरेट हो रही है और एक कन्वेंशनल पावर प्लांट में अगली स्लाइड चलो नेक्स्ट एक बटन वापस जाए वापस फिर आगे एक बटन एक अपने एक बटन दबाना है एक ही रंग के है अब दबाएं एक बटन यस एक ही रंग के तो ये जो है यहाँ पे वो जो हीट जो जनरेट हो रही है ना अगर मैं न्यूक्लियर प्रोसेस की जगह उसको तेल से जनरेट कर लूँ गैस से जनरेट कर लूँ कोयले से जनरेट कर लूँ तो इट विल हैव द सेम इफेक्ट एंड आई स्टिल गेट द सेम काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी नेक्स्ट और अब नाउ वी कैन कम टू द न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट तो पाकिस्तान ने जो पहला न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट बनाया था कराची न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट जो सिंध में आपके यहाँ से करीब समंदर के किनारे पे लगा था कराची में 137 मेगावाट का था वो हमें कनाडा ने दिया था एंड पाकिस्तान वाज द 15th कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड जो न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट जिसने लगाया और अगर आप देखें तो लेफ्ट हैंड पे जो दो कॉलम है ना उसमें सारे गोरे मुल्कों के और एडवांस कंट्रीज के नाम है और सिर्फ इंडिया का एक नाम है जो हमसे पहले है और बाकी सारे मुल्क जो हैं उन्होंने पाकिस्तान के बाद बनाया तो पाकिस्तान वाज वे अहेड ऑफ मोस्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज इन डूइंग दिस तो कनाडा से हमने बात की उन्होंने न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट दिया लगा दिया और चला दिया और क्योंकि आप लोग में से मोस्टली आईआर के और सिक्योरिटी स्टडीज के और स्ट्रेटेजिक स्टूडेंट हैं तो आपको पता है कि उसके बाद 1974 में इंडिया ने अपना न्यूक्लियर एक्सप्लोजन किया विच वाज कॉल्ड स्माइलिंग बुद्धा के नाम से तो एट दैट टाइम द कैनेडियंस केम टू पाकिस्तान उन्होंने उनसे कहा कि जी अगर आप चाहते हैं कि वी कंटिन्यू टू प्रोवाइड यू फ्यूल फॉर दिस रिएक्टर वी कंटिन्यू टू प्रोवाइड द स्पेयर पार्ट्स फॉर द रिएक्टर्स एंड द टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर दिस रिएक्टर तो आप ये जो नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी है इसके ऊपर साइन करते हैं नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी का क्या मतलब है कि यू कैन नॉट यूज दिस न्यूक्लियर टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर डिफेंस पर्पसेस तो पाकिस्तान रिफ्यूज टू साइन और आपको पता होगा कौन से 3 मुल्क हैं जिन्होंने नहीं साइन किया स्टूडेंट्स में से पीछे कोई बता सकता है कौन से 3 मुल्क हैं जिन्होंने एनपीटी पे साइन नहीं किया पाकिस्तान इंडिया और नहीं पाकिस्तान इंडिया और इसराइल पाकिस्तान और इंडिया और इसराइल ने एनपीटी पे साइन नहीं किया नॉर्थ कोरिया ने साइन किया था लेकिन उसके बाद वो उससे दे वॉकड आउट ऑफ इट और आपको पता है ईरान के ऊपर जो आजकल सारा मामला चल रहा है कि ईरान क्या कर रहा है क्या नहीं कर रहा है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट कि ईरान ने साइन किया हुआ है एनपीटी लेकिन पाकिस्तान ने साइन नहीं किया हुआ तो पाकिस्तान के ऊपर कोई लीगल मॉरल ऑब्लिगेशन नहीं है कि हम इसको डिफेंस के लिए इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते बट एट द सेम टाइम जो सिविल न्यूक्लियर प्लांट्स हैं वो हमारे इस काम के लिए इस्तेमाल नहीं होते हुए सारे के सारे आईए सेफ गार्ड्स में। बट एनी इवेंट कनाडा ने रिफ्यूज कर दिया, तो फिर हमने इन प्लांट्स को खुद चलाया। अगली स्लाइड पे आइएगा। तो ये आप देख सकते हैं, इसमें कोई खास बात नहीं है एक्सेप्ट फॉर द फैक्ट कि जो प्लांट का जो कैपेसिटी फैक्टर था इसका वो बहुत ही कम था। व्हाट इज दैट नंबर देयर? 32%, एंड दैट वाज बिकॉज़ वी डिड नॉट हैव द फ्यूल फॉर इट। कनाडा तो हमें फ्यूल दे नहीं रहा था। तो ये एक सेल्फ इंडिजनाइजेशन का, सेल्फ रिलायंस का प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ, एंड पाकिस्तान अल्टीमेटली ऑपरेटेड दिस पावर प्लांट बाय देमसेल्व्स विदाउट एनी फॉरेन असिस्टेंस। तो ये इसका हमें बहुत फायदा भी हुआ, एज यू कैन सी इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, कि ये बेसिकली, अच्छा ये बेसिकली देखें कि कैनोप का हमने बता ही दिया। तो इससे दो फायदे हुए, बिकॉज कैनेडियंस जो है, हमने जो एनर्जी जो कहा कि हम आपकी कोई सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे, तो उसका एक इम्पैक्ट तो ये हुआ कि जैसे हमने कहा कि हमने खुद न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट में खोलने की कोशिश। दूसरा जो इसका साइड इफेक्ट हुआ ये कि फिर जब कैनोप के बाद पाकिस्तान ट्राई टू बिल्ड अनदर पावर प्लांट, जैसे एम्बेसडर ने बताया था कि चश्मा में हमने लगाए, दे आर 300 मेगावाट पावर प्लांट, बट पाकिस्तान वांटेड टू बिल्ड 900 मेगावाट पावर प्लांट, और फ्रांस उस जमाने में बना रहा था। और हमने जब टेंडर्स किए एटॉमिक कमीशन ने, तो किसी ने जवाब नहीं दिया, किसी ने नहीं कहा कि मैं आपके यहाँ आके बनाएंगे बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एनपीटी थिंग्स। तो आयरफ फिर हमारा प्रोग्राम भी डिले हो गया, और फॉर दैट मैटर कैनोप जो है उसकी जो परफॉर्मेंस है, जैसे हमने कहा, वो भी बहुत सुपर नहीं थी, लेकिन 12 सारा टाइम चलता रहा। उसके बाद फिर एक कोऑपरेशन एग्रीमेंट हुआ पाकिस्तान और चाइना के दरमियान। अगली स्लाइड चाहिए सर, अगली स्लाइड, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड चलिए, नेक्स्ट है बेटा, और आगे चलेगा। नेक्स्ट का मतलब एक बटन दबाई दो। प्लीज सॉरी, आप सही कह रहे हैं, वापस जाएं। यू आर राइट, ये चश्मा फिर चलें वापस, सॉरी यू आर राइट, वो एक ही जैसी है। ठीक है, तो इसमें यह है कि फिर हमारा एक चाइना में के साथ 1986 में एक एग्रीमेंट हुआ कि भाई न्यूक्लियर टेक्नोलॉजी में दोनों मुल्क एक दूसरे के साथ कोऑपरेट करेंगे, न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट भी देंगे, फ्यूल भी देंगे, एंड ऑल दोस। उसके बाद फिर अगली स्लाइड पे आप ठीक है। तो फिर जब पहला रिएक्टर लगा चाइनीज असिस्टेंस के साथ, तो चश्मा न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट था, जो चश्मा पे लगा 325 मेगावाट का ये पावर प्लांट था। और आप देख सकते हैं कि बाय द ईयर 2000 दिस प्लांट बिकेम ऑपरेशन। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। उसके बाद जब ये प्लांट लग गया और चल गया, अच्छा इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस हमने जब ये प्लांट लिया था ना चाइना से, C1 प्लांट, तो उस वक्त उसी तरह का एक प्लांट चाइना अपने यहाँ लगा चुका था, चिंशन में लगा रहा था, बल्कि फॉर दैट मैटर 1991 में वो प्लांट ऑपरेशनल हुआ। और उसी वक्त फिर उससे के साथ ही उससे पहले हमने कॉन्टैक्ट कर लिया था, और फिर चाइना ने प्लांट हमारे यहाँ बनाना शुरू किया। चाइना का भी फर्स्ट पावर प्लांट था फॉर एक्सपोर्ट, और पाकिस्तान का भी पहला पावर प्लांट था इन कोऑपरेशन विद चाइना। कैनोप के साथ हमने कराची का प्लांट तो बनाया हुआ था, लेकिन वो एक डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजी थी। ये जो चाइनीज प्लांट था ये डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड था, ये यूएस बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी थी, जो वेस्टिंग हाउस ने किसी ज़माने में 1970s में डेवलप की। अब जो है उसके बाद C1 के बाद C2, C3, C4, 4 न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट वहाँ पे चश्मा में चल रहे हैं। और अगर कोई बंदा जिसने अपनी ज़िंदगी कोई थोड़ी बहुत न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट में या सिविल न्यूक्लियर में गुजारी हो, तो ये उसके लिए दुनिया का सबसे खूबसूरत मंजर है कि 4 प्लांट्स एक साथ, इसका पॉलीकेमी से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं, कि 4 प्लांट जो हैं वो एक साथ आपके चल रहे हैं। कैन एनीवन फ्रॉम बिहाइंड बता सकता है कि 4 प्लांट एक साथ लगाने में क्या फायदा होगा? Or why do you want to put 4 plants at the same site? पीछे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनमें से कोई वैसे बोल दो यार, अलग से। देखें, इसमें फायदा आपको ये है कि आपकी बहुत सारी सर्विसेज कॉमन होंगी, आपके बहुत सारे जो ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपीरियंस है वो कॉमन होगा। ठीक है, अब आपको एक चीज प्लांट में, चारों प्लांट में एक जैसी चीजें चल रही हैं, आपने एक सेटअप बना लिया, यू नो हाउ टू फिक्स दैट। तो अगर फर्ज करें कि आपके 4 एसी हैं, मुख्तलिफ जगहों पे लगे हुए हैं, शावर में, कराची में, उनको ठीक करना ज़्यादा मुश्किल काम है। लेकिन अगर चारों एक ही कमरे में लगे हुए हैं, एक ही बिल्डिंग में लगे हुए हैं, तो इसको मेंटेनेंस और ऑपरेशन बहुत आसान है, एक ही चीज़ दूसरे में भी इस्तेमाल की जा सकती है ज़रूरत। तो दैट इज़ द एडवांटेज। फिर ये कि जहाँ आप पावर प्लांट लगाते हैं उसके लिए आपको ग्रिड बिछानी पड़ती है, लाइनें बिछानी पड़ती हैं, तो लाइनें भी वही सेम लाइन, उसको ज़रा बड़ा कर लें एंड यू कैन टेक द पावर अप। नेक्स्ट। अच्छा, ये उनके प्लांट की कैपेसिटी फैक्टर्स हैं, एज यू कैन सी। जैसे हमने पहले भी जिक्र किया था कि जो न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट है ना, वो बड़े अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस देते हैं एज कम्पेयर टू रेस्ट ऑफ दिस प्लांट्स जो दूसरे सेक्टर में। जैसे आपको पता ही ना आजकल क्या मसला है, लोड शेडिंग का मसला है आजकल, और जब इतनी पावर हम जनरेट नहीं करते, हालांकि प्लांट लगे हुए हैं, इसलिए क्योंकि फ्यूल कॉस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा है। तो जब आप फ्यूल खरीदते हैं तो वो आपको इतना महंगा पड़ता है कि आप उसमें बाकी फ्यूल की बिजली बेच नहीं सकते। और आज सुबह तो मैंने अखबार में पढ़ा है तो कह रहे हैं कि शायद 31 पैसा बिजली की जो है कॉस्ट हम बढ़ा देंगे ताकि हम सर्कुलर डेट से निकले। तो इस टाइम पे बताने में कोई नहीं कि अगली स्लाइड देखें, सॉरी वो बाद में है कि न्यूक्लियर की जो कॉस्ट है एवरेज वो 12-13 पैसे है। जो न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट से बिजली निकल के हम देते हैं दैट इज ओनली 12 to 13 पैसे। उसके बाद वी केम टू दिस K2 K3। चले नेक्स्ट। अच्छा K2 और K3 में ये फर्क है कि वो 300 मेगावाट के प्लांट थे, ये 1100 मेगावाट का प्लांट है। वो जनरेशन 2 के प्लांट थे, ये जनरेशन 3 के प्लांट है। ये मॉडर्न प्लांट है। फॉर एग्जांपल इसकी जो कंटेनमेंट है वो 2 हैं। एक कंटेनमेंट अंदर है जिसके अंदर रिएक्टर है और उसके ऊपर फिर एक और कंटेनमेंट बनाएंगे। चश्मा में जो पावर प्लांट्स हैं उनके ऊपर एक कंटेनमेंट है। और जो चेरनोबिल में एक्सीडेंट हुआ था जिसके आपने नाम सुना होगा, जिसकी वजह से न्यूक्लियर बहुत बदनाम भी हुआ है दुनिया में कि जो न्यूक्लियर एक्सीडेंट होता है और रेडिएशन फैल जाती है, उसके ऊपर कोई कंटेनमेंट नहीं थी। तो जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो सारी रेडिएशन बाहर आ गई। बट एट कैनो वी हैव 2 कंटेनमेंट्स, एक और उसके बाद दूसरी। उसके अलावा भी बहुत सारी एडिशनल डिजाइन को या सेफ्टी को बेहतर करने की चीजें हैं। ये प्लांट मिला के सारे अगर हम देखें ये जो हमारे 6 प्लांट हैं, दिस इज द कैपेसिटी फैक्टर ऑफ दिस प्लांट्स। अगर आप ये नीली वाली लाइन देखें ना, ये है कि हाउ वेल दिस प्लांट्स आर परफॉर्मिंग। अगर कोई प्लांट आप लगाएं, कैपेसिटी फैक्टर आप समझते हैं, कैपेसिटी फैक्टर ये होता है कि टोटल एनर्जी में 1 साल से इसमें कितनी बना सकता था और मैंने एक्चुअली बनाई कितनी। तो अगर फर्ज करें कि किसी प्लांट का कैपेसिटी फैक्टर 100% है, इसका मतलब है कि वो प्लांट सारा साल चलता है विदाउट फेल। और अगर किसी प्लांट का कैपेसिटी फैक्टर 50% है, इसका मतलब ये है कि या तो 50% पे सारा साल चलता रहा, या फुल पावर पे 6 महीने चला, या मुख्तलिफ पावर पे चला, लेकिन उसने पूरी बिजली नहीं बनाई। और जितने भी ये पावर प्लांट हैं हमारे, इनको फ्यूलिंग के लिए 1 महीने के लिए साल में बंद करना पड़ता है। तो इसलिए 100% कैपेसिटी फैक्टर लाना ओवर दैट उसमें पॉसिबल नहीं है। इफ यूर 80+ तो आप बहुत अच्छे हैं, मतलब उससे आपको बहुत परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा होगा। और यह कीमतें हैं तकरीबन न्यूक्लियर वर्सेस अदर्स दूसरी। जैसे मैंने अभी कहा कि न्यूक्लियर की कीमत जो है ना ज़्यादा नहीं। नेक्स्ट। तो इसके बाद जो हमारा अगला वो ये है कि हम आगे किस में चलें। अब समटाइम्स पीपल डू आस्क कि जी जो आपके पावर प्लांट्स हैं इसके फ्यूल सप्लाई कहाँ से। सिंस वी आर एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन चाइनाज कॉर्पोरेशन, पहली बात तो ये है कि हमें जब कोई न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट नहीं दे रहा था, चाइना एग्रीड टू गिव द न्यूक्लियर पावर। दूसरी बात ये है कि ऑफ कोर्स इट्स ऑलवेज गुड एंड बेटर कि आप किसी ऐसे मुल्क से न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट ले खरीदें जिसके साथ आपकी एक लॉन्ग टर्म रिलेशनशिप हो, ताकि उसकी मेंटेनेंस में फ्यूल में आपको वो प्रॉब्लम ना हो जो हमें कैनुक में पेश आया व्हेन वी डेल्ट विद कनाडा। तो चाइना नॉट ओनली गिव्स अस पावर प्लांट, हमने उनके साथ मिलकर लगा लिया। तकरीबन 70% कॉस्ट उनको देते हैं, 30% हमारे खर्च होते हैं। द काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स दैट वी। और उसके बाद फ्यूल जो है वो चाइना के साथ हमारा एग्रीमेंट है कि लाइफ टाइम जब तक ये रिएक्टर चलेगा, जब तक न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट चलेगा, वो हमें उसका फ्यूल जो है वो देते रहेंगे। और ऑफ कोर्स एक इंडिजनाइजेशन भी है, जैसे भी किसी ने पूछा भी था। तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तो न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट का टर्न की हम देते हैं चाइना को, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम दुनिया में टर्न की ही दिया जाता है न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट का। लेकिन इंडिजनाइजेशन के लिए आप बाई बैक ऑप्शन इस्तेमाल करते हैं। आप कहते हैं कि ये काम जो है ना मैं करूंगा, इसके पैसे तुम मुझे वापस कर देना, या इसके पैसे तुम मुझे दे देना। तो हैविंग डन दैट, अब तो नेक्स्ट आगे चलें।